Okay, this video is to help you out just a bit with the drawing 21A021 in your workbook. And this is just a 3D model of a similar object to what's shown in your workbook. Just want to point out a few things. You'll notice that the questions, some of them say maximum, for example, maximum flange diameter, and then some will say like minimum bolt circle. The maximum and the minimum are the key words there. And what that should let you know is that you're dealing with tolerances. Okay, it's not asking you for a specific dimension, it's asking you for the maximum or the minimum value. And what you want to do is you want to, for example, on the maximum flange diameter. Okay, well, first you need to know what a flange is. If you don't already know what that is, you need to go to the front of the book. I think on page 2 or 3, somewhere around in there, right at the beginning of the book when we were going over terminology, and look up what a flange is. Okay, but the flange is actually this part here. Okay, this highlighted right now. That's the flange part. It's that whole thickness. And I just want to know the maximum flange diameter. So you would have to look in your workbook and look at the diameter that was used to draw the object. Okay, and then since the limits or the tolerances aren't specified exactly in the dimension, you'll have to go to the unspecified tolerances section of the title block in your workbook, the title block that drawing 21A021 is on. Okay, so if you have the the diameter that the object was drawn, the flange was drawn, and then you can either add or subtract the unspecified tolerance. Okay, so let me do number 1 with you. The maximum flange diameter. Well, if you look at the diameter of the flange, it has a diameter of 4.80. Okay, well, it has 2 decimal places. 4.80 does. So you want to go to the unspecified tolerances section of your the title block there, and you can see that 2 place decimal unspecified tolerance is plus or minus 0.01. So if you're looking for the maximum flange diameter, you want to take the original diameter, which is 4.80, and then add 0.01 to that number to get the maximum. Okay, and that would be 4.81 would be the maximum flange diameter. The minimum flange diameter would be 4.79. It would be the same thing. You'd go 4.80 minus 0.01, and you get 4.79. So quite a few of those questions that you're asked are either maximum or minimums, and you may have to go to the terminology section at the front of your textbook to find out what a hub is, what a keyway is, what a counterbore is, what a countersink is. Okay, remember the included angle is nothing more than the angle between surfaces. Okay, so that's one of the questions that ask you. So just make sure that you know the terminology before you attempt to answer the questions. The second part of this is calculating dimensions. All these are very straightforward with the exception of H. And H is wanting to know basically what the length of that highlighted edge is right there. Okay, and I highly recommend that you draw that keyway, this whole part here, that 1, 2, 3 lines in that arc, draw it in AutoCAD, okay, according to the dimensions given in the workbook. And then you can actually use the DI command in AutoCAD, which is distance. So it's DI and enter, and then you can click, I believe it's on each end of the line, and then it'll tell you how long that line is. You can also click on the line, right click, and select properties from the cascading menu, and you should have your properties palette come on the left side of your screen in AutoCAD, and you can then at that point click on the line, and the length of the line will show up in the properties palette. Either way, but you'll enter your answer in 4 decimal places. Dimension I, be careful. I think I and K and maybe G, those you might not actually be able to find the dimension directly, but you can find it in one of the local notes that are in the drawing. Okay, so so this is a fairly straightforward exercise, and I think this will be enough to get you through it. And I will go ahead and conclude this video.